Present. Ms. Jernerbro. Present. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Coe.
Present.
Ms. Palestrini. Here. And Mr. Robinson.
Here.
All are present.
Please rise if you're able. Deputy Chief's going to lead us in the pledge tonight.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had this gentleman signed up to speak, but we spoke before the meeting, so we left. So we don't have anybody signed up to speak tonight unless it's changed.
No.
Okay, awesome. So with that, there's the meeting minutes from March 19, 2026. Please review them at this time. I'll entertain any changes to the minutes or entertain an approval as they are presented.
Motion to approve as presented.
Questions or comments? Ms. Clerk, you call the roll.
Ms. Jernerbro. Aye. Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palestrini. Aye. Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor. Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Sorry. Multi.
Now we have the accounts payable for April 9th, 2026, $617,540.02. Please review them at this time. We'll entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable. So
Second.
questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palestrini. Aye. Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor. Aye. And Ms. Jernerbro. Aye. Motion passes 6-0.
Next, I would like to ask the board if we could make a friendly amendment to the agenda and move the disbursement, a discussion for the disbursement of the impact fees up to above the public hearing. So that the deputy chief doesn't have to sit here and listen to our public hearing and budget proposal. I'm sure he'd be riveted, but I'm sure he hears it enough. Does the board have an issue voting on that prior to?
No.
Okay, so on the agenda here, we have a motion, or I will entertain a motion to approve the disbursement of impact fees to the fire department, fire protection district. There's a letter here explaining what they're supposed to, or what they intend to do with it. As you know, the village just is the account holder, and it's a statutory requirement for the fire protection district to ask for their money. So that's why they're here.
I will make your motion.
The second time.
Questions, comments?
I have one question for Ms. Lyons. In the letter, it says 70,215 plus any accrued interest.
Yes,
The motion is just for 70,215. Is there no accrued interest?
there is accrued interest, so the motion should include the interest, should be amended.
So we should make a motion, we should amend the motion to include any interest accrued as well.
I will amend my motion to include something, whatever.
Accrued interest.
Third interest.
Yes. Thank you for the.
So that was a friendly amendment to the motion as accepted by the board. Entertain, well, I should say, Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please? You do it first and second.
Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palestrini. Aye. Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor. Aye. Ms. Jernerbro. Aye. And Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. You're free to go.
You should have grilled him.
Okay.
You're making all these motions.
I know.
Except for the motion.
I know, I'm messing you up.
Yeah.
That's okay, it's my fault, it's all my fault. Next, we have our public hearing. So I have to make a motion to go into the public hearing, Mr. Staff?
Yes, we should have a motion.
Just to confuse the clerk, I will entertain a motion to open the public hearing for the budget hearing.
So moved.
Second.
First by Mr. Kelly, second by Mr. Can you call the roll, please?
You bet. Mr. Coe.
Aye.
Ms. Palestrini. Aye. Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Ms. Fodor. Aye. Mrs. Jernerbro. Aye. Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Okay, welcome to the public hearing for the fiscal year 26.2 budget.
All right.
So, Mrs. Lyons, the presentation is part of your board packet software. It's under item 8B as part of the ordinance to approve it. It starts with the second page.
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready? Okay. You guys can't see it. I do have a couple copies, so. Uh-huh.
Second page. I think page two.
All right. Just as a reminder, the village's mission is to deliver village services in an efficient and equitable, and customer-driven manner with excellence, sustainability, and transparency. We discussed at our last that the fiscal FY 26.2 budget reflects a conservative approach to fund operations and capital projects with consideration for the economically volatile environment that we're experiencing at this time. I just wanted to demonstrate how our revenues are proportioned in our budget. As you can see, we rely heavily on other tax revenue, which includes everything from state shared revenues to our places for eating tax and video gaming receipts, as well as real estate taxes. And then expenditure-wise, in the general fund, streets has now, on a percentage basis, equalized with the police simply because of the $880,000 transfer that we will have to the debt service fund to finance the public works garage. With respect to general fund expenditures, I wanted to point out that we do have funds allotted for the comprehensive plan, for the construction project, for stormwater remediation at Park and Rid, for the annual street improvement projects, which includes Washington Avenue from Elm Street to the end, and also Whitetail Circle. Local adjudication, men's and women's locker rooms at the police department, and one additional head count in the street division of public works. I wanted to speak just briefly on the special census. We talked about that at the last meeting. We have received the census results, as you know. The Illinois Department of Revenue Motor Fuel Tax Division has acknowledged our receipts, and we will start receiving our state shared revenues on the updated population amount starting with the month of March. So you incur the expenses in the month, or you pay, or people pay the motor fuel taxes in the month of March. In the month of April, the state tallies it or collects it. And then in the month of May, thank you, they will tally, and so we'll start to actually receive those monies in the month of June. The local sale or the local revenue section, which handles the state shared revenues, income tax, and those items, they are a little slower at the draw this time, and they're making us substantiate that our population really did grow. So they asked for block census information from 2020 to compare to 2025, which means they're looking at where our growth is to make sure that the census is on the up and up, and we're not counting other people's feet.
There were no streets before in 2020, and then we have a street. Is that what we're gonna do?
So kind of.
Because there are subdivisions, 2020, they didn't exist, so.
Correct, right.
So is the state saying they don't trust the US Census data that they were provided?
That's kind of the way I took it.
They don't trust anyone.
But it's interesting because motor fuel tax in a regular census lags behind the local revenue section. And in this time it's flip-flopped. So yes, that's my take on it as well.
Interesting.
So the Census Bureau, the way the system works is the Census Bureau collects the information, they send it to the village, and they send it to the Illinois Secretary of State. And it's actually the Secretary of State that certifies the census, which has been done, and then they forward that to the Illinois Department of Revenue. So,
Okay, so they don't even trust their own experts.
Correct.
Seems like well-oiled machine.
right.
Spend,
Get that
baby,
in the
spend.
minutes.
Well, I'll keep you abreast of when we do start to receive those monies because of the increase. All right. Then with respect to capital projects, special revenue, and general funds, I just wanted to highlight some of the things that we are supporting in this fiscal year 26.2 budget. We will be supporting our residential and business community through support of Old Fashioned Days, Concrete Country Days, the Chamber of Commerce, the Historical Society itself, and then the Suds and Fun Car Show. I talked about the paving projects already, and then we also will be constructing an early warning siren in Prairie Ridge at the drinking water treatment plant that's on Harmony Road. With respect to our enterprise operating funds, these amounts look a little inflated, especially in the water section. Revenues will be 2.256 million with expenditures of 2.250 million. That includes approximately, just over $1 million in transfers for capital projects. And then the sewer fund, you can see the revenue and expenses on your in the presentation. We do have about $88,000 of transfers for sewer projects. And then the garbage fund is strictly revenue and expense. So the enterprise fund expenditures that will be happening is well 10-month pump and motor rehabilitation, a Park Street water main replacement that will go along with the stormwater project that's done in the same area, the cleaning of the Elm Street elevated water storage tank or water tower, and also 2 water main insert valves, which will aid in our ability to isolate and turn off water in certain sections of the village.
Ms. Lyons, if I could just jump in real quick, it's not just clarifying, it's not just the cleaning of the Elm Street tank, it's rehabilitating the entire inside and doing all of that as well.
Right, so they will be draining the tank and they will inspect it, do any spot treatments that need, to be done on the paint and those types of things. So yes,
Okay.
it could potentially include a small amount of painting rehabilitation as well.
So,
Didn't we just clean that thing?
That was the tank that we actually painted a few years ago.
No, we did paint that tank not too long ago. Not, well,
It was less than.
it's the Elm.
Yeah, but they did the inside.
but they did the whole, they did the
Covered all
whole
the
thing.
mechanical.
It was longer
So,
than 5 years
I
ago,
believe this has,
right after you got on the board.
It was less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know,
Mhm.
but that's why you gotta clean them and maintenance them, because otherwise they turn black.
Right. No, just asking.
this has a different paint treatment than
Okay.
the previous as well, and so it's recommended that we, it's more expensive than just power washing like we do at some of our.
Right.
So, yeah. And then with respect to the sewer fund, there will be some sewer modifications done, in the Brook Edge and Timber Lane areas. We do wish to replace a lower motor, in the digester building and also do some valve replacement. We will be updating the electrical controls in the centrifuge building and continuing our ongoing project of adding surge protection devices to some of our sewer infrastructure. And then it's not in your packet, but I always throw up our favorite graphic, which is our dollar, showing that in 2025, the village received 5.71 cents for every dollar of your real estate tax bill.
It was better when we called out the other taxing bodies. I like this one.
I'm happy to add those to the picture. All right. That's my presentation for this evening. And probably the only other thing that should be noted is the fact that we do present a balanced budget to you this evening.
Ms. Seahouse.
So we do have an extra budget, not only in the streets, but also in the water.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, we do have an
So
extra.
there's 2 extra employees that will be looking to hire, except for me, not just the planning. If I may, a little background on this budgeting process, just so that we we're on record with how the budget is processed. And, Trustee Pastrini said that, there are things submitted from our department head. So internally, before it gets to our budget committee, we as your team, management team here, we go through what the needs are for every department. We have a wonderful capital improvement plan that your water and streets or water and sewer work off of. And so they always put in everything that's on there. As you know, we are not funded to do everything on that schedules. We are continually looking for funding opportunities. I am trying to work closely with Mark and Steve from EEI, because we're going to start looking for some other funding, because we have a lot of big projects that we took out engineering for because we're not going to be on schedule to do them next year, right? So we push those things out because we have to, stay and think. So when we present to the committee, we present all the things that we know that we can move forward to the full board, right? And they have more information about what we took out because they asked for it, but I don't want anyone to think that we take things out, just on right. Correct. Right. So we do it by what we can afford to do, and we are constantly making up, updates with the capital improvement funds and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that, everybody understands that the process internally before it gets to the committee, adjusted at the committee level, and then we're submitting to you guys a fully balanced budget with enough for oops or things that happen, because just like a house, we have things break, right? So I just wanted to clarify that for everybody on how our process works before it gets to the committee and then to you guys, okay? Thank you.
Any questions for staff? Well, this is the public hearing. So any questions from the public? Okay.
Can I ask just
Sure.
one, with all of the water and sewer capital funds that are collected, are those spent every year? No.
In totality, no. It is not spent because we are trying to save for the $7 million project that we're supposed to do in 3 years. Okay, that we are not funded for. So if you want to look now and understand the impact, the fees that you're talking about are split between water and sewer, right? And we have water projects and we have sewer projects, right? $30 of the $50 goes to water, 20 goes to your sewer, right? So do we spend every red cent? No, because we have capital improvements. We have a media thing go out. We're spending $439,000 on something that we were not planning this year, right? If we had spent every red cent, we would not have been able to do that without going out to get funding, which means a loan, right? So do we spend everything? No, but we spend a lot of it in all of the capital improvements that you guys are approving for those 2 departments. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So we spend just enough,
We do.
but we save enough.
We're trying to be responsible, yes, to save enough. Now, are we going to have to go out for funding? Yes, we are. To hit, Tams Farm water treatment plan is something that we are going to need. We are growing out there. We need to, and that is a big focus for us. So we need to be ready for that. And so when we do go for that, the best we could hope for is low interest loan from EPA with a little bit of forgiveness, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to pay for that? Not the impact fees, but your capital improvement things, right? So we are trying to make sure that we are ready for the things that we need to be ready for, which means saving some and funding some.
Any other questions? Entertain the motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Palastrellini,
Hi.
Mr. Robinson,
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor. Aye. Mr. Sternbro.
Aye.
Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Cole.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right, welcome back to open session. On the table is the ordinance 26-23 approving the fiscal year 26.2 budget. Do you have any questions or discussion that were not covered in said public hearing? I will entertain a motion to approve the ordinance 26-23 approving the fiscal year 26.2 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Questions and or comments?
Just a question with, page 66, it's just exhibit B. It says the chief fiscal officer of the village of Hampshire, and that's the Hampshire, sorry. And that's not, I don't know where that came
I
from.
believe you just did it.
Signature, is that Ms. Lyons, is that our administrator, I was just curious, because we don't have a treasurer that's
We normally don't include this as an exhibit in the ordinance, which is, just
Okay.
different from,
Okay,
what's been done in the past. I've always signed that document.
that's fine. I just wasn't sure, and I thought maybe that was because we were in a different fiscal type year, the annual, so that's fine. Thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Robinson.
Aye.
Mrs. Fodor. Aye. Mr. Sternbro. Aye. Mr. Kelly.
Aye.
Mr. Cole.
Aye.
Mrs. Palastrellini.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you to staff and thank you to the budget committee and the trustees and the staff that aren't here for this, going through this process. And, not running out of here, but we told them we gotta do it again in a few months.
Right? I'm excited.
All right, Ms. Seehausen, you're gonna help me with the next one, which is a motion to approve medical, dental, and vision insurance. So,
Okay, so.
help me through this.
Yep, so the medical, dental and vision, were, the only thing different from them, because we have ACA plans, we are going to probably add one PPO plan for the employees to have a choice. The second HMO plan was not lucrative for the employees, so it didn't really make sense to offer that. We have yet to decide on what vendor we're going to be going with for dental. So we're waiting for dental and vision to come back from Blue Cross Blue Shield and VSP. But one of the good things is that we are going with STUM broker for our platform versus Gallagher because they offer online enrollment. So we're going to have an online platform for our employees starting this enrollment. I did just a little thing because I know when we went with workman's comp and stuff, we did go back to Gallagher and ask them for this platform, and it was coming with a cost, and it was going to be a cost every year. STUM offers it for free, and the pricing for your plans are the same with both brokers. Nobody, these type of plans are commodities. They're not, a broker gets different prices. It's just not the way it is. So the premiums were the same from both when we sat down with them. The deciding factor to go with STUM was a better platform for the village, being more everything all together. It's going to host our AFLAC plans that we offer to the employees as well. So it's going to be like a one-stop shopping for our employees, which is pretty exciting for everybody. And so that's really the only difference with this besides the increase. I am going to, going into January 1, I am going to be entertaining going to other places to try and get us out of the ACA because we cannot withstand another $120,000 increase. So we're going to have to be looking for other things. Obviously we're going off for renewal again on January 1, but even the $89,000 for this 8 months is a hard hit for this town. So we are definitely going to be shopping this. Your CBA kind of restricts us a little bit, so I'm going to be working with that as well. But as it stands for this year, sorry. It's definitely something that we're going to have to renegotiate with them as far as some of the things. But this right here, the increase is the same that Ms. Lyons told you about. It didn't change by changing brokers or anything, but The only other thing is we were gonna be going with your vision plan, instead of it being every 2 years for people to get glasses, employees will be able to get them every 12 months. So that will be a highlight for them. And we're either gonna stay with MetLife for dental or go with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So that's the only difference in that.
Any questions for staff? I'll entertain a motion to approve medical, dental, and vision insurance for fiscal year 26.
So move. Second.
Questions, comments? Ms. Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Mrs. Fodor?
Aye.
Mr. Jernerbro?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Mr. Coe?
Aye.
Mrs. Palastrellini?
Aye.
Mr. Robinson?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Anything for old business? Any announcements? We are meeting next Thursday at 7, right here. Same time, same place. Any other, bingo this weekend.
Yes, we do.
Come have some bingo time at the middle school, 4 to 6:30.
Correct.
Yes. Benefits to Hampshire Elementary School.
Saturday night. Saturday night, we know how to have a party.
They will not.
Now?
They will not.
They are not.
They're in Nashville right now.
They're in Nashville and I don't know where they're headed next.
Okay.
Then you're kidding.
They're like in this, like, they're our very own Wafadilla, food truck that's based right here in Hampshire is a part of the great food truck race. And they shut down Broadway down in Nashville. And so that's pretty cool to see Hampshire on the map. I spoke with Sean today.
I'm saying they're not going to be there.
I spoke to Sean today and he said that they'd like to loud and proudly say where they're from. So good luck to them.
Yeah. Awesome.
Who also happens to be an almost former student of mine. She was in the classroom next door.
I didn't think that you were
But I
I
knew
didn't
her.
think you were that old.
I am that old. I felt even older when I saw her rolling in the
Any other announcements this evening?
I would like to bring up something that was a little concerning to me that was first posted by the Hampshire Police Department and then followed up on Hampshire Community Network about the senior assassin game that is going around. I know there have been I've briefly looked at some of the comments about kids will be kids, but this is not a game. This is, as a teacher in a school, I don't want to say we live in fear, but we are very in tune to what could possibly happen. And it's not it could never happen here type of situation. It's now turned into a when it does happen here type of situation. And I feel this is a highly disturbing and inappropriate game that is going around. And I can only encourage parents to get involved and put an end to us, because this is not kids being kids. This is
Stupid. There's no other way to say it.
this. Can I explain the game? So it's I don't know what exactly you do, but you carry around a toy. It's like tag with a
water gun.
toy that is clearly a toy. I get it. It's clearly a toy. I'm not being irrational.
No, it's not. That's the problem. They're not clearly.
Okay, well, some are not clearly toys. So it's supposed to, but some are not.
Actually, most aren't clearly toys,
Right.
and that's the whole part of the game, is that they participate together, and they actually use tracking apps, and there's all sorts of intricacies to it. But the bottom line is they're trying to quote assassinate one another with water guns. But the water guns that they're using, the one that they got off of the kid in Dundee was, it was a black M4 rifle that was a water gun. But there's no way you could tell unless.
Do they walk around the street store?
Yeah.
They bring it to schools. They walk.
There has been close calls. There was one breakfast gathering in a cafe where one of the quote targets was in having breakfast, and the kid that was after him came in with 2 or 3 others, all in masks, all in dark clothing, and they quote assassinated him with a water gun in his chair. And there was a concealed carry holder in the restaurant. And you can imagine
Well, and that's where I'm going. Like, this isn't something to make a game of
Right.
being a teacher in a school, being a resident of a community, just being out in a restaurant with your kids and heaven forbid they see this happen, like somebody's gonna get killed. It's gonna come down to that, and it's gonna be an unfortunate, tragic event, and somebody is gonna get killed.
If
And
you're,
it's not a game.
if you're trying to dress like a criminal, right, to conceal your identity, walking around with a toy to make it look like a gun, it's a recipe for a disaster. So parents,
These latest incidents were in District 300. I mean,
Right, so they're in our neighborhood, they're in our community. Like, this is not, oh, it can't happen here, it is happening here.
yep,
And we live in a society now where it is a realistic possibility that you could be shot on an expressway going to or from wherever you're going on an expressway. We hear it all the time on the news.
well, and to Chief's points, we live in a state where there's light legal concealed carry,
Also that,
right? And so if you are somebody that's attempting to cause harm, right? Or look like somebody that could cause harm, concealed carry holders are well within their right to do what they do, which is protect themselves and others, right? And unfortunately,
which could also go wrong.
in this particular circumstance, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, you don't put yourself in a situation that,
I have been in the Virtua 300 at the station, and let me tell you, that split-second decision, it's life or death.
same with our police, exactly.
So my purpose in making this announcement is please stop. Please stop. Talk to your kids. Please stop this.
you know, another side of the coin is the hesitation or people dismissing something because, you know, they see someone walk into the back door, you know, into an open door to school with a rifle and they think, oh, it must be senior assassin game, you know?
No, and then it's involved in Texas
Dismiss it.
and Columbine, Colorado, and all of the hundreds and thousands of places.
Every way you look at it, it's bad.
There's no way that this plays out well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for indulging that, but I felt it needed to be said.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
But Mr. Cup,
Anyone?
You good?
No, I'm good.
Do you have anything you'd like to say? Sure.
I'm all good.
Nobody made the motion to adjourn yet. You could do that.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? All right.